Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I go by the name of Kaution, Mr. 700. You know what we are. You know what we doing. It's another episode of Awwready, Not Like Us. This is episode 2. Shout out to our first guest. What was her name again?
Thelma.
There we go, Thelma.
Honorary judge.
Listen, she was amazing.
Judge Thelma Anderson.
Blame my head, not my heart, okay? I got a horrible memory. I've been doing a lot of shit this year, and I'm so sorry, but it was right on the tip of my tongue. I got my brother Bryson Paul in the building. What's it doing? And I'm gonna let you introduce who we got, so I don't fuck it up, okay?
All right, man. We got all the way from Arlington. You might have seen her. If you haven't, you've seen her work. She's done a lot of social content for Arlington-related social media platforms and whatnot. But we got the one and only Lauren Dillard in the building.
Appreciate you popping out.
Thank y'all.
She got it going on, man. She always got some support for local Dallas artists, and she always got something to say about local Dallas music. So
nice. So let the people know what you do. You know what I'm saying? Specifically, who you are and what you do.
Okay, so I Lauren. I go by 817lauren on social media.
Okay.
I'm from Arlington, born and raised, and I still live there for now. But I'm the marketing director for a group out in Southlake, and then I also work with Arlington Urban, so we're a media entertainment company, and then I have my own public relations agency called Urgency PR. So
nice.
Now, for Arlington Urban, y'all got a huge following. Why you just brush over that?
It's because it's. I don't know. It's Arlington, but yeah, we're Black-owned media entertainment company in Arlington with over 100,000 followers on Instagram.
Nice.
And so we do a lot of news curation. We do interviews. I conducted a lot of those interviews, and we just do a lot for Arlington, share Arlington news, and bring the world to Arlington. So
super dope. Listen, when I first moved to Texas, I moved from Compton, California. Real story. Took a Greyhound here, right? First time I came out here. Took a Greyhound here, got to the bus station in Arlington. That was the first place I moved to when I got here. So everybody I knew moving here was all from Arlington when I got here. I got here in 2004. So I've been here a long ass time for one. So I'm technically a Texan now. That's how I see it.
Yeah, 10 years? You've pretty much a resident. No, it's 10 years.
It takes 10 years?
You are considered.
I done doubled that by now.
Yeah.
But that's dope though. I do love the culture in Arlington. We still, I still fuck with a lot of people that's from Arlington and people that I've known. So it's dope to have a media outlet to shine the spotlight on a place that necessarily didn't get a lot of attention when I got here. Because when I started rapping and shit out here, I was trying to find a way to get to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to where them niggas is. And so I think it's dope that you have a platform that shines a spotlight on, those who don't necessarily get it all the time.
Yeah, we get a little middle child treatment, I guess, in Arlington because we're between Dallas and Fort Worth. But right. We're our own place. And
facts.
Everybody's always coming there for different stuff.
Exactly.
So.
Why are you the only one that don't call it the Aggie?
Several different reasons. I don't know. I don't know.
So you just go Arlington?
Yeah. Or right? Sometimes I call it the Ag if it gets.
So the Ag is a common.
Oh no, you only say that when you hanging out with actual people from Arlington.
Yeah,
you be like,
you going to the Ag.
Yeah. But everybody else is like, nah, I'm just.
No, the wild one back, when I used to live in Arlington, was Swag Town, which was wild. I never understood that one. It's shout out to my brothers that used to use that shit, but it was always kind of weird to me.
Swag Town.
But no, man, talk to Bryson. I ain't seen you, and we ain't talked about a lot of this this Diddy shit, man. And can I just preface it and say that I have a general level of disappointment with the freak offs?
With the freak offs as far as what they are?
Yeah,
man.
I would have preferred the full blown house of celebrities. Yeah. Everybody just getting to it.
Yeah,
I don't like the whole bring a guy over, Cassie. You in the corner with a Taliban mask.
Yeah, it's a complete different description of what they was what they amped it up to be before the trial took off.
Yeah,
it was he got videos, he got all this, he got who gonna be on the video, who gonna be
nobody.
Man,
it's much different than the Epstein list.
When they gave down the description of what a freak off was, I know a lot of people at home was like, oh, we can't even. Nah, I don't even.
Most exciting name was the nigga named the Punisher. For obvious reasons. So it's I didn't really get much out of that. This nigga sitting out here with a New York fitted on and some Timbs and a robe with his shades on, directed.
No,
like, nigga, I know that's you, Sean.
What killed me was he said it took him 5 sessions before he realized that it was Puffy and Cassie.
Man, nigga,
I'm sitting there like, you didn't look her in her face and you couldn't tell this was a wig.
As soon as she'd open the door, it's just me and you. It's like, oh yeah, it's happening. It's happening.
Okay, well with Diddy, I could understand. He in a mask, he over there in the corner. He ain't okay, cool.
But think about this, bro. How have you ever heard P. Diddy talk? It's always like,
no, he said he didn't say nothing. He said he would walk out the room.
Whole time?
No, he said he would walk out the room. He would direct. So, like, after a while, like, I guess after he found out who he was, he realized, okay, I know who this is. But, like, he said in the beginning, when he was directing and wanted to, like, narrate how he wanted the stuff to go down, he would walk out the room. And she would go walk out in that, like, for, like, a couple seconds and then come back. Or they would come back and whatever they wanted the scene to play out to be. So, but
like, after a while, and I don't mean to be empathetic,
I feel like the term freak off should have been better used for something else. Y'all wasted it. Y'all wasted it.
I feel like you gotta say it in court.
Y'all wasted it.
It's a freak off.
It's not even hitting like that. It was like, okay, freak off. You thinking it's, I mean, actually the term, what he using the term for is necessarily true. Like, okay, they are doing this for an extended periods of time, like for days and whatever, which is a freak off, whatever. But I'm feel like you use that word for something so simple, so minimal. Like, come on, bro. And then ain't nobody else. It's just y'all. So we ain't getting There's no salacious tales from any celebrities. Nah, not at all.
Because he waits till the party is over and then they go to a random hotel somewhere and then they do this. They don't even do it at his house, I don't believe. They wasn't doing this shit at his house. They just all in hotels doing this shit apparently. So it's just kind of like, man, a lot of pomp and circumstance. You going to jail for being a freaky ass nigga and a jealous ass nigga. That's what you finna go to jail for.
Either you just, in there for the Punisher, either you just really was like, I don't know what the pay was that they was giving you, but it was good enough for you to ignore everything. How do you turn on the TV and be like, it say welcome Mr. Combs, and that's when you bing everything. It makes sense now.
No, I'm sorry.
I know who it is now.
If I seen Cassie, I know that nigga's in here somewhere.
Right.
If it's another man in here, where is this nigga at?
He was like, I saw Cassie. The reason why I found out it was Cassie, I went on Diddy's Instagram account. After I done had sex with her 5 times, I went on Diddy's Instagram account and saw her on the Instagram account.
Bro, the thought process, and I guess if you in that line of work, you're kind of hyper focused, right? So you show up somewhere to do a job, you kind of block out the minute details unless something crazy fucking happens.
Right.
So I guess maybe you going into this, it's a nice looking woman. It turns out to be something different that's going down here than I anticipated.
Look,
I enjoy doing it.
A wig is a wig. I don't give a fuck. A wig is a wig. Yeah. How did you not know? Like, she can't, it's not enough makeup and it's not enough in the world for her to put on to where she is unrecognizable as Cassie.
I think my thing is like they were getting people that were just kind of like random off the street.
Oh yeah, them 12. Did you see the 12 people they had?
Yes,
the mug shots for all 12.
That lineup was crazy.
That was another thing. I was like, nah, I don't know what to say.
Nah, bro, this shit is something different. Man. This ain't just some normal. And to have to do like recovery days. Like we got to take days and IVs. Yeah, like and come on, bro. Like is it that serious? The Kid Cudi shit, whatever. Kid Cudi, you are a pussy, bro. This nigga set your car on fire. He at your house like a Marvel villain when you're not there.
He said his car. He couldn't prove it. He said I can't prove that he did it, but my car blew up.
If you believe it enough to where you'll go to court about it, then you think he did it.
Yeah.
So you didn't do nothing. Nigga told you I didn't do nothing. You let him stand in your living room with your dog locked in the bathroom.
But you can't fight.
And didn't do nothing.
Look, you can't. I mean, Diddy's still a man at the end of the day. You can't go run up and just be like, I'ma just fight Diddy, and you ain't think he had 17 security guards. He did slap Drake. Remember that? It didn't take not one security guard to slap the shit out of Drake.
They said that nigga Diddy was the reason Drake was in that little sling because his shoulder got pulled out of place by the security when they was wrestling around.
Nah. He said
he been terrorizing niggas for a long time.
He slapped him and that was it.
Yeah.
He slapped him and And maybe people got in between them after that.
Yeah, they say when like the scrum of them breaking them up, like Drake's arm got twisted by security or something.
I don't
broke his shoulder.
You can't slap me and just even if you slap me and a bunch of people get in the we still gotta no.
Yeah, but then he got into it with J. Cole too. You know what I'm saying? Like him and J. Cole had a little kerfuffle.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
J. Cole's 6'5", he whooped that ass.
Yeah, I didn't hear the same stories.
Yeah, they said J. Cole's in there handling his business. So
hell no. Now listen, what's going on with your boy? Your boy Wale. Why are you so sensitive?
I feel like he was in his. I don't know if he was in his right to walk up to, because he said he didn't know that they was being streamed, which is he probably did.
Come on, bro.
Everywhere Kaution goes, I'm assuming that it's being recorded.
And you found out what he said on the stream because there's no other way for you to know.
He found out on the stream.
Somebody told him.
Yes,
somebody
I feel like he was on there looking and he got tagged and he was like, "Why my phone blowing up?"
Got
and
clip
looked and he was like, "Oh man, there's hella people on here talking about." He just act like he didn't know, and he didn't even say Wale, right? He just said Wally.
That nigga said Wally.
Yeah, man.
That nigga said Wally. Fuck, that's somebody big. Like, yeah.
I think Wale should have been the bigger person and been like, "The nigga don't know me. All right, bet." Like,
who cares?
He just don't know me. Wale care, man. Y'all.
He does.
Stop playing with that
the
man.
Thing about it though, he was just on Joe Budden's podcast talking about how he felt disrespected or so, and then however he said it. So for that to happen,
Wale ain't never changed. He always been that person. He's always exhibited all those traits on interviews, and if he get disrespected real easy or feel disrespected real easy, and he will let you know, like, hey.
I just think that in this era, bro, like Kai is he's a very young man, like, and they demographic. They don't really go back into the trenches. They don't go back to see who was popping 10 years ago. They don't give a fuck.
Like I saw when Kai was like, when he did acknowledge it and he was like, yo, like he pulled up Lotus Flower Bomb and he was like, oh, this is a classic. To people like us, it's a classic song. But that's not a Wale classic. If somebody asks you, hey, what's a Wale classic? You're not gonna sit there and that wouldn't be the first one I'm gonna go to.
I would say, what is it? Love Hate Things.
Oh no, that's even. I would go to his first the song with him and Lady Gaga, the first Attention Deficit, like album like that,
or the Ambition shit,
even that. But it was like he was like, okay, he looked up the date of when Lotus Flower Bomb came out, and he was like, I was 9 years old, bro. When he would have said that, I would have got on social media. I apologize.
9 years old. My son is 7.
Issues.
So right now, bro, my son is 7. He's the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan in the world, right? By the time that nigga's 14, he will care not about that nigga no more.
No, he gonna say, it's a classic. He gonna say, what the classic? Damn, it's a classic.
Nah, he gonna say G and X is a classic.
He gonna say G
and another thing, I'm on a tangent right now because I'm on here with you. All you niggas that be dissing Kendrick Lamar online that like to reach out to me like I'm friends with this nigga. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm talking about the Lil Wayne album the other day. Niggas gonna hop in the comments and say, oh, it's better than G and X. I don't care, nigga. Even if that's the case. Like, stop hitting me with that. Bro, niggas smoking dope. That Carter 6 is trash. And I don't like to call music trash. It is trash, bro.
We got to talk about that. If we go, for a minute. All right, look. So, I understand people's frustrations with the Carter 6, right? Okay. As a consumer. From a consumer base, I understand your frustration saying this is not the Wayne album you expected. Like, you mad that for whatever reason you feel about the bars, but I understood Wayne's concept for the Carter 6. It was literally I'm running through a history album. It was like I'm going through and talking about, or I'm making music that was similar to the times of when I was popping or when I was experimenting. Like he went with the first 2 songs was literally you could go back to the original Carter and you'd be like, oh, this was how he was rapping at the time. The second 2 songs might be a little bit off, but
little bit. Okay.
The songs with Bono. The song with Bono obviously is his rebirth era when he was going through his rebirth era. He still got You know, he got the stuff with Manny Fresh was obviously Carter 2. That was what he was trying to do. I didn't say he went, but the song,
I like how you cleaned
each one. Manny Fresh was him going back to his Carter 2 phase. You know, he did the Carter 3. Now maybe it might have stopped after the Carter 4 or 5. I mean, we got to 6, but I feel like I knew what he was doing. He was going back and just going and reliving the moments that.
Now, you see how he got you, Bryson, is he made you feel like he did that intentionally, and he didn't. He is fucking stuck there.
He's stuck in the Carter 3?
He is stuck in all of that shit. Wayne is, first of all, Wayne is not creative enough to even put some shit together like you just said.
Yeah.
He doesn't work like that. The Carters have never had a purpose. Think about it. The Carter 1, it makes no sense. The Carter 1 was about him being in the Carter, Nino Brown's Carter, walking through the building. You know, that's how we went from Carter 1 to 2. You know, we talking about you being in the dope house, symbolism of like lyricism and all that. It never really had a purpose.
Right.
So once we get to 6, now mind you are talking to a person that I tapered off after 3. I couldn't tell you what's on Carter 4 or 5.
What?
I don't have a clue.
Not
Maybe
4?
that song with Lil, the song Swiss Beats produced that they always fucking play.
That was 5.
See what I'm saying?
But yeah, Mona Lisa on there too. The song.
Hate that song.
Oh,
hate that song. Well, I'm just like, okay, now, and I have to explain why I say that. And I don't mean to say trash. I say trash for dramatic effect. I will say, in comparison to the other Carters that I consider classics, which is 1, 2, and you can maybe throw 3 in there. I feel like if you comparing it to those albums and the quality, and is Wayne at his height. You see what I'm saying? And so I always compare artists to themselves. I never compare them to like other, because that's a tough thing to say. Is this doper than the new Lil Baby? Like, it's gonna be hard to do that. You know what I'm saying? So in comparison to his other albums, it does fall last to me. But that's only because I have such a high standard for Wayne. Because I've been listening to this nigga since he was 11 or 12.
All right,
you
but
see what I'm
what would
saying?
you? Okay, so you say you have a high standard for Wayne. What would you rate the lyrics on the Carter 6?
I think the lyricism is still, metaphorically, Wayne is still that guy. He can still come with the punchlines like he always has. I just feel like there's no growth in him.
What do you mean no growth?
Bro, go play some of
obviously I can, yeah.
See
but
what
I'm saying, what's no growth in it?
I feel like you shouldn't still be making the same rhymes about like eating women out that you've been doing over and over again, or telling me what the F and Wheezy F is. Like, like, why are we still doing this?
But he not the only person that used that Wheezy F. Everybody,
I get it.
Everybody uses the
You
Wheezy
synonymous
F, and
for
the
it.
F is for.
But like, so if I'm listening to an artist, and I do appreciate artists, I don't want you to change who you are, but I want you to evolve as a man. Who you were at 20 shouldn't be how you're rapping at 45.
But that goes back to a consumer base, like how you said from the Wheezy F part, right? Yeah. Consumers be like, I bet you if he didn't say the Wheezy F and the F is for line in the Carter 6 at all, they would have literally said he didn't say that line.
I get it. I just feel like there's so much more that Wayne can tell us, and in a way for him to present it artistically. I just feel like he don't have the right people around him no more. And I feel like when you lose that foundation, and you just scrambling and you doing whatever because you got a bunch of people around you that's not being honest with you. And so I just don't hear that same person no more. And so, you know, if you go through from like Wayne from the Block is Hot up into 500 Degrees, if you go all the way up through the Carter and the mixtapes in between, and then even go through the droughts and the dedications. Oh, yeah. So we going through a growth of an artist. I seen from the Block is Hot to the dedications.
Yeah, but at this point for Wayne as the Carter 6, I've already accomplished I'm the best rapper alive. I've already accomplished that feat.
Yeah.
Like twice.
So I don't need him to do that, but I just want you to make good music.
Okay, but they go back
from
to
Hamilton producing that stupid ass song.
They got Wayne. Oh yeah, that was.
Bro, that shit sound like the Backyardigans. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Like, it sound good on paper when you got Bono from U2 on there. Like, okay, it makes sense.
What's dope about that song though is that was the most introspective song I felt like he had on there. Like the way he was rapping, the stuff he was talking about. That's the kind of Wayne I want to hear on every song though. I want you to be that way with me on every song. I'm not saying you got to be fucking Lupe Fiasco, but I do want you to tell me a story about success and like for you how it felt. Like that's what 444 was for me. Like not just the great parts of success, but when you fuck up sometimes.
Hey,
like,
but Jay made a bad album before. Kingdom Come. They cooked him for Kingdom Come, and then you know what? He came right back. And
let's not. If you're gonna give him an album, and I hate when people did that with Kingdom Come because it wasn't that bad of an album.
You know what? It wasn't. But to me, it wasn't bad album.
It wasn't his worst.
You couldn't ask me because I'm a Jay-Z like super fan. So it was
is
like,
Kingdom Come worse than Volume 1? where he tried to go to Diddy and be Biggie?
Yeah.
You think so? I feel like Volume 1 is just worse.
Was worse. Okay, the only reason Kingdom Come was worse than Volume 1 is because Volume 1, he was still like, okay, yeah, he was still he made Reasonable Doubt, obviously, which wasn't like nobody cared at the time.
Yeah,
like nobody was like, oh my God, it's a classic album. Or it was so we would say it's ahead of its time.
Right.
Okay, on Volume 1, he was making what was popping at the time.
But he went outside of, I think I seen an interview, I think it was Irv Gotti. And like Irv Gotti said that he started making music with Puff because Biggie wasn't there, right? So he kind of took that void.
But what do you expect when Biggie made Ready to Die and Life After Death?
But think about them songs though.
Puff.
Them songs like the shit, the You Belong to all that shit, Sunshine, all that shit he was doing.
Sunshine obviously is his.
That nigga had a shiny suit on.
Hey, look, and that's what was popping at the time.
Facts, but
Mace was one of the hottest rappers at the time.
No, I agree, but I think the point that he was making was he didn't come back around.
The Lox, the most grittiest rap group you could see.
But that's what it took to get Jay to come back around. Was like DMX being popping. Like so now he wanted to come back on the other side.
Man, DMX had shiny shit on too. Don't let that shit for you on Party Up. He had
don't do that.
Yes, he did.
He just had on leather. He had on leather overalls.
He had a fucking.
Of course, they gonna shine.
Oh, let's not forget the goggles. Let's not forget that.
Everybody wore the goggles.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody wore the goggles.
Okay, but back to for Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come was a commercial album that was literally bought by Budweiser. They were like, "Hey, look, we gonna pay you all this money to drop an album."
That shit was hard though. A lot of that shit was hard.
Lost One was on Kingdom Come. So you can't say like it was Show Me What You Got was not hot at the time, but now everybody loves that song. It was nowhere near they was mad as hell.
I would say if you're gonna give me an album from Jay-Z that I would say would be my least liked album, it would probably be Kingdom Come.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Because I even like Magna Carta Holy Grail a lot.
What's wrong with that one?
Nothing. But everybody says that's a reach. Like the thing with that one is they say he was real. I don't
know how Jay has perfected it, whereas other artists of his age and of that era have been unable to do. But somehow Jay has been able to perfect his wordplay and his lyricism to where it connects with the youth. Like he'll use youth puns and whatnot and punchlines,
but it don't sound old.
Still like him. Like it'll still resonate with his older audience. Like he manages to find that connecting tissue to where it all connects from the past, present, and future. Yeah. So I don't know how but maybe he's real meticulous with his words when he writes. Maybe it's just because he don't write shit down. I don't know. But Wayne, it's different. Wayne don't care about what none of y'all think about. He said, how y'all gonna tell me how to rap when I'm the best rapper alive? I've proven it.
See, that's where he went wrong. I've proven
I'm the best rapper alive.
See, you get up there on that mountaintop and it's only one way to go. And every farther time is undefeated.
Okay, but what do you do? So everybody's saying are criticizing the album, right? The album goes number 2. Mm-hmm. He's on a full-fledged tour. Worldwide tour, pretty much, that he could tour on for the next 3 years. It's still gonna be Wayne.
If you're gonna do it that way, bro, then I can't.
So how do you tell somebody that at that point, like, hey, stop making music?
But he could have did anything. I feel like he could have did anything and got that. But if you talk about commercial success, compare this album to his last one. So this one, the first week did 100 and some thousand. The Carter, 4 or 5? The motherfuckers did like 400 and some thousand the first week. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So there is a dip.
But I think he got grace period for the Carter 4 and 5. I think he got grace period because obviously the Carter 3 was just huge. $1 million. And it was huge. It's a classic. Blah blah blah. Nothing like it's nothing wrong. I'm pretty sure there's stuff wrong with this album that people would say, but it's nothing wrong with that album. It's literally something that people compare to all his other albums after that. Right. Now the Carter 4 may not have been where everybody thought it was going to be, but they was like, hey, is everybody get one mess up or whatever? Because before Carter 3, Wayne was 500 degrees. He was cooking the whole time. Block is high, 500 degrees. The Carter 2, which everybody says is the best one, is the Carter 2.
2 is my favorite Wayne album.
You get to the 4, you be like, all right, man, he can have one slip up.
He was the mixtape person, bro. I think that's the part. Like, the Carters was dope, but like when we was listening to Wayne, we was listening to shit that wasn't even on the radio.
Yeah.
Then you got to think about his feature run.
Yeah.
Because his feature run was probably still untapped. I know J. Cole is very impressive in his feature run.
Okay, even now his feature run, like leading up to the Carter 6, his feature run was still crazy.
See, that is my point. Because he has been flawlessly addressing the shit with Benny the Butcher, all the shit I've heard Wayne on, the Drake shit, anything that I hear him on, I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds like Wayne. Mm-hmm. But then when I hear the album and it's just like, there's no, and I hate to say substance, but there's just nothing that keeps me there, bro. I'm damn near 40. Like, let's keep it 1,000.
What would you say? Would you have ever thought that you would have Big X the Plug have a better verse than Lil Wayne?
He went so hard on that shit. I appreciate. Shout out to bro for that, man. Because when you get a feature, that's what you're supposed to do.
That shit surprised everybody.
Bro got on there and did him.
Like nobody knew he was gonna be on there until the night before.
Absolutely.
That nigga Big X the Plug is good as hell. His whole team didn't give not one snippet, not one, hey, we about to be on the Carter, we about to work with Wayne, like none of that. You just looked at the track list and 2 hours before it came out and he was on there.
Bro, that nigga out here, bro. I give him the credit for that because like a lot of people don't associate like successful artists from Dallas, like artists that are really from Dallas, not the producers, because producers have done a lot. You got artists like 6'3" and Yella Beezy and Trap Boy Freddy, and if you want to go older, like we always talk about with Ryan, his pops, you know what I'm saying, and like what they did back in the day with what they did with Nemesis, Tum Tum and DOC and Erykah Badu. There have been a lot of artists from Dallas, but I think in the sense of this current climate of rappers, he has surpassed any of them that I would have expected. Like I think, and I know Yella Beezy had a lot of success, but I feel like as far as consistently putting out shit and like me hearing different hit records on the radio, I think Big X has kind of surpassed that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In my opinion.
I mean, it's just magnetic. Like,
it really seems that way
too. The stuff he puts out is just like his tone and everything.
Doing a country album.
Yeah. But he has a tone for it.
And when he said it, I didn't say like in my mind, I wasn't like, man, that's corny. That's corny. I was like, that fits, bro. Like that's bro. So when you see an artist that has it, bro, and they have it and they understand who they are.
And the song is considered a song of the summer. It was lit. I got a whole email that said Big X the Plug and a bunch of other artists are in contendence for song of the summer, and it's the country song that he was put.
They're gonna put him in that alternative category they just created at the Grammys because Beyonce with the Beyonce rule.
Shout out to Beyonce.
They gonna get my boy
the Beyonce rule. They was like best traditional country.
So you still telling me I'm not country? You still telling me? I watched the interview.
Waited like a year or so
to not make it obvious. That's like the Jordan rules in basketball. They gave her the Jordan rules.
Nope.
But I saw an interview with Kate Michelle and she get interviewed by somebody who's done it before. I guess they seen it, and the lady was like, "You wasn't raised in country," and she was like, "You do this all the time." Yes, I was, and she corrected her on the spot.
I feel like
I was like, "Damn, why did I still have to deal with that?"
I'm literally from the place that I'm from the place where pretty much Elvis came from.
Elvis in country. Elvis stole his shit from somebody. But it's been a very entertainment world here recently, and so I just kind of, I don't like to, my podcast that we have, the other podcast that I do. Shout out to Awwready. If you don't know what it is, check it out.
Hey.
Shameless plug. But we do a lot of hip hop talk. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really get to talk about like trending topics and shit like that because a lot of it, like if I do it, we don't post frequently, so then it gets dated. So like when I do it, I have to put it out right away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can go back after the fact and talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, but to close out for the Carter 6. All right. I feel like I want to ask you, being that you are an MC, you are a traditional wordsmith, like you care about lyrics and whatnot, you are an actual rapper. Should rappers be the only ones that could be able to have the ability to critique another artist, another album, or another rapper's album?
I think honestly, if you was asking me, I feel like being a rapper, especially an active rapper, you probably shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Because there's always going to be that certain level of a bias in there because you're judging from your perspective and you still feel like you actively have it. And so for me, being in the space that I am, I have to like separate the two in my mind. Like I'm not judging this album based on me as a rapper. I'm judging it on me as a fan of the artist or me as a consumer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm only basing it on how I felt when I heard these albums and what I'm doing as far as that. Because if I judge it as an artist, then I'm gonna get technical and it's gonna be like, and I tell niggas this all the time, can't really call something trash that is successful. I don't care who the artist is. It could be MC such and such. If bro has got 1 million views on his YouTube and you got 65, don't talk shit about that nigga. He can be doing whatever. He can get on the song and say whatever. If he's selling his art and it is successful, you can't call it trash if you're actively rapping. But that's always what I respected about a lot of the rappers that get into this space. Usually it's after they do it. Like the Joe Buttons and the Norries and the, you know what I'm saying? It's cool, Gilly. It's so funny to see niggas like Gilly because they make fun of the nigga all the time. And I'm like, well, Gilly had a little bit of something back then.
Joe, you be like,
yeah. I heard him teasing he was gonna make an album though. But no, I think
go by all means do it.
Yeah.
Like do it.
But I think that the true critiques from people like you, bro, like and that's what I get to because you have a perspective that's based solely on you as a listener.
Right.
Now that you've made a profession off of it is different, but and you as well. Y'all have made well for yourself on your opinions of these people based on what you know about them and what they've presented. So, based on what you see, that's what I think a consumer and a listener has an opinion that you probably prefer.
So I'll go back to how Method Man said, like, in the 90s, or not even in the 90s, in the early 2000s, he went viral before it was a thing. He went viral for saying, I don't feel like people that review my music should be able to review my music if they've never rapped or if they've never wrote a bar or nothing like that.
Yeah, but that's that whole Skip Bayless shit. Like, you can't talk about basketball because you never was good at it. Fuck out of here, bro. Half the niggas is good at it.
Stephen A. Smith be talking like he made history or something.
First of all, bro,
come on, bro.
Most niggas can't even enunciate or say words that can describe the things that they feel in their mind as it is. So let's stick to the things you was good at. Like sometimes niggas do too much. Like as a rapper, cool, bro, you dope at what you do. I don't need your opinion on another rapper though, because, and it's something that I've learned, I can look in the camera and say this, a lot of rappers are envious of other rappers. Success breeds envy, no matter in what business that you in, it always does. But in rap, it is paramount. Success makes a rapper feel like I can look down at you niggas.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So why would I trust a nigga's opinion who not where he is? You know what I'm saying? Like, if a rapper came in here and was like, oh, that Carter 6 shit trash, my album doper. Oh, no, I can't take you serious. Why you not out promoting this quality classic album that you got?
Right.
It's just a funny mindset that we have to get out of because we get stuck in it, bro, and like we start basing our opinions off what we would have done, and like, nah, bro, hell nah. Like, I've been rapping my whole life. Do I get into the technical aspect of it? Yes. Am I listening for that for Wayne? A little bit, because Wayne has been a technical rapper, and I hate when people make it like he wasn't. But if I play something that you forget, or if I fucking play anything that I listened to from Wayne back in the day where that nigga was masterful on any beat, whether it was the Scarface shit he did, and this shit doesn't even touch the radio. But if you talk about a Millie or 6'7", that nigga is lyrically annihilating anything that he touched. Speaking of Show Me What You Got, remember when he did the shit himself? I prefer Wayne's version over Ho's.
Yeah. That's what got him. That's what got Jay-Z to be like, okay, I'm gonna pay attention to it.
I had a nigga tell me online, y'all niggas wasn't fans of Wayne anyway. Nigga, name me a song off Get It How You Live. Right now. Give me a song off the first Hot Boy mixtape, off the first Hot Boy album.
Guerrilla Warfare.
Or when Wayne used to go by Lil Doogie or whatever him and BG used to go by back in the day. Like, bro, and that's why I don't like talking to people online, because they give you opinions because they think they know. But no, I don't hate Lil Wayne, and I can say this because I'll clip this and put it out there. I don't hate Wayne. I don't hate the album. It just didn't give me any replay value.
Right.
But I will also say that my expectation was not for that. I simply went into it to see what it sounded like, and I gave my opinion after the fact. I'm gonna do the same with the Clips album. And I do want to ask you a question that I asked the other day.
Yep.
And this goes into that. Do you feel like rappers from that era, like Wayne, like the Clips, like the rappers, the Jadakisses, the Jim Joneses, the Fabulous, do you feel like that light on that flame of that candle is dimmer than it's ever been?
No.
You don't?
No, I think because Fab is still Fab. Now, I don't know why he has never reached the plateaus of everybody else.
Right.
That he deserves, because he can rap better than most.
But can he still sell?
No, he was never able to sell sell albums.
I think Ghetto Fabulous was probably his most commercial.
No, he can sell singles all day. He
had always
platinum
done that.
singles.
He's
the
always done
ringtone era, that was all him.
He was big as shit.
He was killing it.
Yeah.
But it always came back to he couldn't sell an album. Now it's many different. Me knowing now what I know then.
Yeah.
I mean, me knowing now what I should have known then. It's so many different variables when it comes to selling the product.
Do you feel the same about it when you hear it? That's what I'm asking. Has it lost its lure?
No. You mean like the older albums?
Like right now when Eclipse is coming out, right? Do you feel do you have that same anticipation that you would have had?
I feel like for the Clips, luckily for them, Pusha T always kept them relevant. Regardless of if he had the same, regardless if you call him a one-trick pony where he only rap about coke rap or whatever, regardless of what you're talking about, guess what? Coke rap is just like how it is. It's addictive. Niggas do not care if the fact that Pusha T is able to re-say the same coke lines.
Shout out to Bryson calling me out on a point I made on a show in the past. Yes, I said that before. Yeah, but I'm also a huge fan of Pusha T. So I get it. I get it.
I mean, Pusha T also raps about other stuff too, but he's only known for his coke rhymes, and the fact that he's able to redo it, it's pretty much like you would do on the street. You would get a brick, you would chop it down, you do all that.
I only say that because I like being on tour with like an artist like Currency, right? And you see the reception that Currency gets without like being as big as some of these other artists were that we just named.
Currency is at times he is bigger than a lot of the big name artists because his fan base and his quality of music is a cult following, but it's consistent. Like regardless, it's gonna stay at this level. Regardless of whatever, this nigga put out 13 Cadillac record tracks or albums, and his fan base
gonna rap them.
They gonna stay at this same level. Now, whereas you got a Pusha T or you got any other artist, they'll 1 minute they way up here and drop all the way back down to when they songs ain't popping no more.
And I guess maybe I haven't seen. I guess now I'm getting to the phase of where like we've been through decades of niggas, bro. Like we've been through decades of the same group of rappers from that era dominating for so long, like to where when you having top rapper conversations, you don't even include certain new niggas because you don't want to take these niggas off the list no more. And it's like, how long is Busta Rhymes gonna claim that he's a top 10 rapper?
As long as he
and I get it, but I get that part. But what I'm saying is,
it's different. Like, are you okay? It's obviously different between a rapper, a lyricist, and an artist. Like obviously a rapper, teeters the fence on both sides. Like I can rap and I can get somebody to write some shit for me. Right. Whereas a lyricist is I'm rapping.
I'm here to rap.
I create words out of thin air and put it together and go ahead and do that. I am a lyricist. I'm a purist of this form. Right. Whereas, so it's the difference between a lyricist, rapper, and an artist. Niggas need to stop saying they the best rapper if they not, because obviously your music and your record sales and all that don't show.
Correlate. Facts.
Don't show it.
Facts.
Like you can say I'm the best lyricist and be like, okay, I battled or not battled. I went in here and worked with everybody that out rapped them on the song and blah blah blah. And there you go. That's your credibility. You don't take no record sales for that. You don't take nothing. You can just literally technique and skill set to prove that you are better than somebody. Whereas you are an artist, hey, I can make the best song. I might not be the best rapper. I might not be able to make the best rap song, but I can get 14 motherfuckers around me and make the best song, and I could be considered the best.
I just feel like and I guess as I get older, when I look at like the new crop of rappers. And I'm thinking about like what I listen to, because you remember when we used to listen to rap, bro, and we had so many options, and we got the choice to pick of shit that wasn't just like a personal favorite that we kind of kept to our own. Like if you was a DMX fan, everybody knew DMX. If you was a Jay-Z fan, everybody knew that. If you was a Tupac fan, everybody knew Tupac. You had these staples that you could look to that produced a certain content that you knew and was consistent. And so now when I look at it, I look at somebody like Pusha, and I look at what the last album was. What was it, Daytona?
Yeah.
Or no, was it
No, the last one was his solo album was Daytona.
Was it Daytona?
Yeah.
So
the
what was
album with the clips was Till the Casket.
Till the Casket.
Right.
So if I'm looking at like Daytona, dope ass album, first of all, but the space in between and the inactivity is what worries me. And so I feel like they all feel like I can take my time and do whatever I want, and when I come out, it's just gonna be what everybody should flock to. And my worry is now I'm losing that energy that I used to have to run to go hear it. Like we sat in here the other day and listened to the new Clip song, and when it went off, I was just like, that was cool. I fuck with it. Dope ass beat, lyricism is there.
But that's the appetizer. That's not the full
right, and I get it, but like, bro, if they drop some shit, single. If they dropped some shit like 10, 15 years ago, I'd have lost my shit over it.
Well, yeah, because it was out 10, 15 years
and so
ago.
that's what I'm saying. How if you don't have what we just talked about that Jay-Z has, to where you have the ability to last long, like what keeps these niggas? Because I don't listen to a lot of them niggas no more.
Yeah, but in their case, the reason why it's so much publicity around their album is because it's a reunion album, and obviously they ain't dropped another album. They ain't dropped an album in like 15 years. Yeah, and so they're reuniting, and that's the gimmick behind it. Right. At this point, for any artist, I don't see how y'all love music so much, but don't study nothing past the music video. So facts. Don't study nothing past the music video. Y'all swear y'all want to be signed. Y'all want to be in the music business. You want to be a rap star. You want to be a musician. You want to be a singer. You want to get out your situation, and that's fine. But I feel like people need to start telling these rappers and these people that want to be artists, like, look, just like you don't want to pay attention to school, you're going to have to study something. You're going to have to study music at some kind of point. Because I say that to say, when you dropping an album, it's more to it than just making music. Yes. It's more to it than getting with a producer. It's more to it than just going in there, making a bunch of songs, putting them together, and putting it out. You got to learn the promotional part of this. You got to learn the marketing part. You got to learn what your gimmick is, what your story you telling. How's it gonna translate to fans? How's it gonna resonate to? How's it gonna make money? How's it gonna make merch? How you gonna do shows? How you gonna get with this person? How you gonna get it to this person's hands? It's 18 million things that go into it, but more than just I came in here, made the music, and put it out on a streaming platform. Now it's on DistroKid. It's on DistroKid, which is probably the worst distro as far as getting your money. Man, listen, I had this conversation, bro, because I was, I've been on the road here recently doing media shit, right? And so as I'm traveling, I only see, maybe when I got to Atlanta, I seen some niggas from Dallas. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it was like dope to see them niggas, because I'm like, okay, now y'all niggas believe in what y'all doing. Oh yeah. Cause you knew what it took to get here. If it was you paying to get here, that's cool. If it was you selling the ticket, that's cool. Of course that wasn't what it was, but it was just a matter of seeing niggas work that hard to where now you finna see in a different market how people accept you, and you can promote yourself here. You can sell your merch in a different state, and now you leaving your mark somewhere, bro. Like, I just don't get why people don't invest in themselves enough to understand the business, for one, and to take it fucking serious. No. Like, a nigga will come up to me and be like, bro, I'm trying to get on this show. How I get on this show? Get a booking agent, bro. Or talk to the booking agent. Talk to a booking agent of the show when he's here. Find out who that is. Right. Stop trying to stand on stage behind rappers that don't know you. You got a publicist? Where your publicist? I've seen so many niggas get moved around on stages because you ain't supposed to be up there, but you think you cool enough to be up here. Bro, go somewhere and find the people that you need to know. And then please learn the difference between a publicist, booking agent, manager, assistant. If you don't have if you don't have a business that's big enough for all of those things to exist, then you need to still be working. Yes. Because if you don't understand what each of those roles even fucking mean, like, bro, I got to a show in one city, and this is when I learned that everything was what it was. You get there, the show don't start at 8. It don't start at 8, nigga. I'm at the venue at 3:00 in the afternoon, with a walkthrough, sound checks, setting up the merch tables. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what happens, bro. Like, it don't just happen in a day where you pop out with your homies and you show up high and you got bottles and you come in and everything. No, nigga. Like, I've watched everybody do it. I don't care if it's Jill Scott. I don't care if it's fucking Currency. I don't care if it's Conway the Machine. They all have a process. Man. They all have a team of people that do things individually. I'm not saying you have to have a team, but if you don't, you need to be doing the things that those individuals do. Be like,
get in contact with media, like niggas like this. You know what I'm saying? Or these people that's sitting on this couch right now.
Be like, Lord, how they be a rap group? I mean, not a rap group. How it be a rapper rapping about his clique, his crew, everything, right? They show up to the show, ain't no merch, ain't no logo, ain't nothing that show what the crew that y'all united, nothing. Like
just weed and Jordans,
man,
designer shoes.
Designer shoes. They got all the latest fashion on. Chains on. But if I ask you, can I buy a shirt? You gonna look at me and be like,
what?
Oh, go to my website, bro. Go to here and then no. What are we doing?
And that's not even just new rappers that do that. That's still established rappers to this day that still just, you don't have merch to sell, don't even have a place to sell it from, nothing. Like it's like you don't care about, you don't understand the value of your fans and how much they love you. Like they love you so much in your music that they want to. You could have had a handkerchief that said your name on it, selling it for $20.
A tangible part of this.
I want it.
Creative, but they don't think about the longevity of things. There's no longevity. It's let's get this money here. Let's do this show.
Facts.
Let's look cool right now, but there is no planning. And longevity.
Craziest thing ever, bro. I remember Tech 9. I went to a Tech 9 show. Shout out to my brother Chuck. Chuck is Tech 9's blood brother. I went to the show with this nigga. Right, it was at whatever that, I can't think of the venue. I'm sorry, it doesn't even matter. But we get there and he has a kiosk. And the kiosk you can go to and buy, like, if he has his merch table laid out. Yeah. It's like immaculate. Like it's all set up, sectioned in colors. But then if you don't have a color he has on the table, you just go to the kiosk. I want that shirt, but I want it in green. Pay for it right there. They ship it to you. I was like, bro, this is magnificent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is ridiculous. it's funny, at the same venue, Gas Monkey is where I was. And I had just been in the same venue like a week before because Nipsey performed there. And so I went to the Nipsey show. Totally different environment.
Marathon shirt.
Totally different. Not a marathon shirt in sight.
Nothing.
Not a shirt in sight. Like the nigga at Tech 9 was performing by 9:30.
Oh, yeah.
Whole crowd rocking. I never seen that many people rock for a man in the show until I went to a Tech 9 show. All people of all sorts. I went to the Nipsey show. I stood at that motherfucker through 9 openers.
Came out at 12. Hey, what's happening, How y'all been?
Bro, and these are the lessons you learn, bro. 9 openers. Come on, bro. I saw everybody from the city, and then I saw his 2 openers, and then I saw Nipsey, and then my legs gave out, and I needed to go. Because it's just like, different experiences, bro. So it's just a matter of like, and I'm not shitting on Nipsey at all, but it's just funny when I think about that because, back then, going to a show was a big deal, and I didn't really realize the like severity. This is another thing. I'm sorry, it's a segue. I do this all the time. I see a lot of people complaining about going to shows as well. So if you go to a show that has a headliner, there's going to be an opener.
Yeah.
If you show up early enough to get a good seat at the show or a good place in the show, that means there's not you didn't buy a specific seat. You go to take your spot. I'm here early enough. The show doors open at 8. If the headliner don't go on to 11, you just in this spot to 11.
Right.
That's nobody's fault but yours. You see what I'm saying? So what I've noticed in a lot of these venues that I'm going to is like the openers is getting slaughtered. Like they get slaughtered. And not no fault of their own, but people just become impatient. Like, and so there's a certain etiquette that you should have because I saw a couple of people on some Kendrick Lamar shows and they was there too early and they're like, oh, this bitch is empty. And I'm like, bro, you were at a Kendrick Lamar show at 7:30. I don't know why you there so early if you bought a ticket to a seat.
They still outside at the pop out.
Come on, bro. So have some concert etiquette, man. Like that shit is some one thing. Being on a tour, that's really like grinding my gears. Okay?
I think that just goes with maturing now because I remember being like when I first got into music, like as a fan, like just growing up, like I wanted to go to the shows. I would go stand in line to buy the ticket for the show. Like the first day the tickets go on sale, all that, or go that night, buy the ticket or whatnot. But I want to be there early so I can get in the front in the gate area and sit and try and be on that gate, sitting there waiting for 13 hours, watching 5 people go on and all this. And you like, and now that I'm older, hell nah, I will.
Not doing that.
I'm going on Ticketmaster. I'm looking for the balcony section, wherever the seats is at. Hey, let me get seat 200.
You ever see me at a show, fans? Just look at the footage that I'm filming. I am never in the crowd.
Nope.
Come on, bro. Where can I go? Like, do I got to go up there and just sit? I'll go up there, wherever that is.
I need to be comfortable with my food and the drink. I need to be comfortable. I need to. I'm not.
That's funny. I was talking to it's a guy. Shout out to K Polo, videographer for Jet Life and all that. Does a lot of work for like the Pelicans and shit like that too. Like, bro does a lot of shit. But I kept running into him everywhere we went, and like I would notice the nigga would get there early enough to scope out where he was gonna stand. And like when we was in Austin, it was a spot where a nigga was in, and it was just impossible to get to once the show started. And he looked at me, he was like, "Hey, how that nigga get over there?" I was like, "Bro, you would have had to been there." I said, "You would have had to been there before the show started." It's virtually impossible to get there, but it's just that preparation. Like, nigga is there early. Like, he telling me like, "Hey, if you circle around the back, it's a door. You can come out right there and film, or if you go behind the stage." Like, he did. Like the first show I was at, he didn't understand who I was or why I was there, but I was just in a spot that normal niggas don't be in. And so he was like, "Oh shit." He was like, "Well, when the nigga come out, he gonna do a loop, and you in a perfect spot because he gonna stop right here." And I was like, "Oh, I appreciate it, my nigga." I was like, "Once I'm done, I'm just gonna get out your way. I'm not here to like impede on your progress." But it's just like that kind of shit, bro. Like, be prepared when you get to these venues to get the shit you need to get done, man. Like, or to see the people you want to see. If you get there early enough, you just got to go with the experience. Now, if you go to Travis Scott show, that's on you if you show up too early and you may have to get dragged up out of there. Bryson made it out. Hey, okay, so it couldn't have been too bad.
I was in the media section, you know.
Bro didn't get his testimonial.
I was in the VIP media section.
Here we go.
So
he was all cooled and air conditioned.
It wasn't air conditioned. We all know. You still outside. Everybody outside. It's just a certain section where it was just only VIP and media could go to. Them niggas
said that at a certain points at a time in the crowd, like, everybody would move right.
Yep.
And then everybody moved left. Yep. You don't have a choice because you just stuck.
I hate that.
So you just moving.
People went to the front. They sat out there. Oh, it was people out there. I think they watched every artist go up there. I don't think they moved. They was there from the time the gates opened till obviously when the show was over. But they moved. They did not move from that gate.
Hell no.
They sat there waiting for him to.
The crazy part was seeing how the people like going in, because they said the capacity of the show where all this shit happened was like 35,000. It was what it's supposed to be.
No, it was 50,000 or something like that.
They said it got to 50, but when they started breaking the barricades down to get in the show, they couldn't equate to how many people were actually there. So it could have been 70,000 people there. It could have been 80. They didn't know no more. You ain't got the clicker for everything. Them niggas was pushing through the metal detector. I was like, God damn! Like, I didn't know it was that serious. See, bro, you drove up in the back somewhere.
First of all,
got out elevator.
Nope, that's not what happened. First of all, they showed on social media the lineup. They showed what time everybody was going on. I looked, I was like, oh, such and such ain't going on until this time. I ain't got to be there when it's first open.
No, all right,
bet. I ain't got to deal with no lines, nothing. It was smooth as hell when I went through. Nope, I was not trying to see somebody at 12 in the afternoon. I'm sorry.
And be there till 12 at night. Fuck out of here.
No, and
I love music to death.
And then I knew Travis wasn't gonna come out on time, so I'm like, oh, we definitely got plenty of time to kill. Hey, we just gonna get there. So
man, that whatever festival that nigga did overseas, where it was like the
Romania one.
Yeah, my God, I just saw clips of that again last night, and was like,
that was no different from when they got the same video of DMX doing Woodstock.
Or Jay-Z doing Glastonbury. Yeah. Like, them kind of shows be so crazy. To think about, to be up there. And
you know what's crazy is they'll never report one person getting hurt at one of Romania and Nope, they'll never report the people.
Niggas say blame Houston.
We gotta put down a new segment. First of all, because I'm gonna say this is a new segment because both of us is from Cali and we got somebody from Arlington. We ain't gonna say Arlington people don't never represent Dallas. They say they from Arlington.
Well, some of them do, but I'm real about it.
So we definitely gotta do a new segment for being that the show's called They Not Like Us. We got to do something we got to talk about an issue that shows the difference of They Not Like Us and just adding the difference between what Cali would do and what other niggas do.
Gotcha.
So, and the first ever topic we gonna address is something that me and Ja can definitely know from where we came from where our upbringing, what exactly would have happened that situation. And the situation is Kendrick in Toronto performing 2 nights performing every diss song he has ever made about Drake, and all of Toronto rapping, singing along, chanting, everything.
Call that to pop out in the 6.
Yes, pop out in the 6. Now this is gonna be they not like us. All right, so we go, John. Well, John, look, you obviously we ain't never been as big as Drake, but we know how territory works in California. Right. Would Kendrick have been able to come to the set and perform? Not only that, perform, but diss you in front of all your people?
No, I don't. If the shoe was on the other foot, right? Would there be a Drake Los Angeles concert where he comes out and does Family Matters or push-ups
or Taylor Swift? No, or the Taylor Swift freestyle.
No, because there isn't there's a contingency of people that love Drake everywhere, no matter where he goes. But his core fan base ain't gonna stand up for him like that. That's not who they are. You know, I've always been a Drake fan, but my wife is a huge Drake fan. Right. So she's not hopping out there defending you in these instances. You see what I'm saying? Like when your core fan base is a certain demographic, your shows are a certain demographic. So you're not gonna come to LA to do that, bro, because you know what goes with that. It may not be at the show that it happens, but somewhere that you go, knowing how it works, like you know that's not going to be possible. The magnitude of you doing it and the way they were screaming for an encore, I was like, what? This is the one time in this whole battle, bro, where I looked and was like, Drake, that's fucked up, bro. I was like, that's fucked. He saw the little congressman man out there. You posted about that nigga. Like I felt up like, nigga, what you doing there?
If that was us, he would have got beat up.
It bro, would have got rushed.
Problem.
Nigga, what you mean?
It would have been the next. We'd have been at the embassy the next day.
Bro, you couldn't pay nobody from California to show up to Drake's version of the pop-up in California. Who's showing up? You know who would have showed up? Fucking Jason Taylor. On my mother. He would have been there. Yeah. That's who the kind of nigga showing up.
You know what? I don't think he would have came out and did. I don't think Game would have came out. Nah.
He needed.
Nah. I mean, I know
I'm sorry, let me stop talking about it.
Game could do some wild stuff, but I don't think he's that wild to where he would have pulled up to a Drake event in LA and been like, hey, this my homie. We finna go out here now.
But he been caping for him through the whole thing. I just feel like, to answer your question,
he was caping from him from the comfort of his home. That's what he was doing.
Whoever's home that is. To answer your question, no.
I feel like if the shoe was on the other foot, Drake would have came out to LA Drake would have came to Compton to do whatever show.
You taking it too far.
I didn't think about Toronto.
He did.
So Drake went to Compton and performed at the concert venue that they got.
He performed at the new Compton
performed
High.
every diss song towards Kendrick at the show. No. I feel like that would have not happened. As soon as the beat would have came on for whatever diss song he was going, I think from a realistic standpoint, I don't think anybody would have rushed the stage or nothing like that, because obviously you guys are security.
Nah, you ain't gonna do that.
Now, what I think would have happened is everybody and their mama would have threw every piece of soda, glass, whatever they had, they would have thrown it on that stage to make it where he would have stopped.
Good.
You know, the demographic of like what Hollywood represents in California is not always the artists and the actors and the singers and the rappers. So there's certain people that have access to the same rooms and places that the superstars go. So when you talk about people coming to California, you could be in the dressing room or the backstage area of your show, and it'll be 60 rolling 60 niggas in there.
That just automatically
and
just
we in here.
Up.
You don't know how they got here.
What's up?
These niggas know when you got off.
The security guard was scared. That's why he let us in.
They knew when you got off the tarmac.
Yep.
They told niggas when you was landing. They know when you at everywhere. It's just a different demographic, bro. And I never, in my mind, when they was talking about Kendrick going to Toronto, I never had any fear of anything happening to him.
On top of that, he went on Friday the 13th. Like, how did you have everything mapped out to where I'm going to do this and it? But okay, so how do you think it would have. All right, Lauren, how would you think if it was in Arlington, how it would have went down? You think Drake would have been able, or Kendrick would have been able to go out there and diss whatever? You think he would have went out there and been able to diss a DFW artist? There's no way he would have went out there and been able to diss a DFW artist and be like, I'm performing every diss song that I've ever.
I mean, yeah, they might get you after the show. Like, they're gonna let you finish, but
right.
But yeah, after the show, it might be an issue. Like, you can't go out, you can't go to no nightclubs, you can't celebrate nothing. There is no after party, you know?
Yeah.
Without.
Yeah, I just think that's so. And then you did it 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
2 nights.
Like, you opened the show with Euphoria. You also perform bits and pieces of 616 in LA as well. Yeah. So you going through the whole shit. The only thing I think he doesn't do is fucking meet the grams. But you do not like us.
I'm sure he probably did.
You see what I'm saying? So like, you are running through this, and the other part of it, the album that you're performing, these songs aren't on there.
Not on there at all. Not even.
So the reasoning ain't even there.
No.
And then on top of that, at the end of it all, somebody do that, and then at the end of it all, everybody in your city pretty much tell you to do an encore. We want you to go back, a standing ovation, and we want you to go back and do the songs again.
To watch it happen in LA and then to watch it happen in Toronto, it's like watching a nigga win a championship on the home court and then turning around and winning it on your home court. He literally did. He won the Super Bowl twice at your house and his. I just don't I've never seen anything of the sort like this, bro.
I think even if it was, I think whoever the art, I think Kendrick, if it was the other way around, I think Kendrick would have had probably every West Coast rapper or every LA rapper show up to the show and barricade the entryway.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to. It was gonna happen regardless because that's the way that we operate.
Right.
Because look at how engaged everybody around the Kendrick shit is. Yeah. Kendrick doesn't even say shit.
Nothing.
Every podcast that's based in LA, whether it's Back on Fig, whether it's the Fig community, whatever, even down to Adam 22 with Wack involved, all these niggas, if you listen to the consensus, none of them niggas are anti-Kendrick. They like sounding boards for this nigga. I ain't never heard as many people interview Problem in my life. Glasses Malone being interviewed because they know he talks to these people.
For real though, like Glasses and them they are
tapped in, but that's what I'm saying.
A phone call. They got
his sounding board is the West Coast, so it's different for Drake to where you never even cared about Toronto until now. And I told the podcast this recently. I think Drake's campaign right now is fuck everything America. When I listened to that shit with Smiley and he made the comment in the song to where he's somewhere foreign, I can't think of what place he said, but fuck the Hamptons and fuck Beverly Hills or whatever, you basically saying I'm not doing no music with you niggas no more. I'm not coming out there to do shows. I'm finna do tours in Europe and fucking everywhere else in Australia.
And that's cool, but you can't go back home either.
No, I think, yeah.
I'm not going back to Toronto. I'm not going back at all. My shit would have been sold.
Everything. He's like the president or something.
I don't give a fuck.
You can't help it. That big ass house he built out there. You heard what he said?
I'd have quit.
He can't go nowhere.
That embassy would have blew up the next day. I would have blew it up on purpose.
Shit, the Weeknd them tried to. That
was the wildest shit. I would have blew it up.
I ain't going back into that. I'm sorry. I'm not digging it.
I go home and y'all, this is how you treat my hometown. Treat me this way. I'm blowing up all kinds of malls, everything. I'm letting everybody feel it.
Bro was hurt. Think about how many people he's seen in them pictures that he knew.
Man, like, how do you? Like, I would be like, I would make a public service. I would make I would have a press conference, being like, Toronto, what did I do to y'all to make y'all hate me so much? Like, I showed y'all nothing but love. I brought people here. The OVO Fest. I'm not doing OVO Fest.
Fuck OVO Fest.
I'm not doing it in Toronto.
I am going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I'm going to bring y'all all in here. Then I'm going to have the conversation you saying I'm going to have. Now that y'all here, what did I do so wrong to y'all? And then he going to play Marvin's Room in the background.
Somebody tried to say that, oh, well, it's only 30 or 80,000 people that went to the show and it's 3 million people in Toronto. Hey, look, the fact that you said that you had to give me that mathematics, I feel like the fact that the rest of Toronto didn't come beat up all 80,000 of them people
says a lot.
Drake, says a lot. Yeah.
Bro, Rick Ross got hands put on him when he went to Canada, and they didn't do nothing to Kendrick.
They didn't do nothing.
First of all, why was Rick Ross walking through a crowd with one security? That's when you know you're in a different tax bracket than other rappers and shit.
Even if Kendrick had every National Guard or whatever, Secret Service, and I don't care. Even if they had all them Secret Service, trust me, if this was Cali, he could have had every FBI agent out there, and I guarantee you it would have been 150 more Crips and Bloods out there ready to go. You see what happened to Ack
in Detroit? You see they ran down on that nigga in Detroit.
But
it wasn't like running down on him, but
nothing was gonna happen to him.
But he's accessible though. Well,
I don't think he just happened to pop. He said, "I'm gonna pop out. I'm going to these shows. I'm gonna go." Okay, cool. They sat there and talked to him. That's it. They ain't. But just think about it though. If academics, what if it would have been like, okay, they just talked. What if Ack would have been like, y'all gonna swing on me? I'm gonna fight. If y'all beat my ass, I'm still gonna fight. Y'all ain't finna punk me.
Nah, I don't think they had to beat his ass, but I think just the notion of somebody even getting at you about this shit at this point in time shows the mindset of like how Californians handle shit.
Yeah, nah.
Because for Dave Free to even approach you in another city means that he's on that. Not necessarily he's on that type of time, but at least you willing to confront the issue head on. Yeah. Like that's just the way that we are. It's not like we don't let issues play themselves out. That's just not how we act as Californians. Like,
I don't think anybody would have been I don't think any promoter. First of all, I don't think any promoter would have booked a show. They'd have been like, "Hey, you want to come here and do what?"
Yeah.
Nah.
They would have told you can't perform them songs, and even if you try and perform it, we gonna cut your mic off. Yeah. Or we gonna do something to end the show. So
it's too much, bro.
Yeah, Or a promoter would just not have took. They wouldn't have.
You got to be willing to go all the way there, and you not Puff Daddy, bro. He was the only nigga willing to go all the way there with California.
So do we go back to Toronto after that? If I'm Drake, I'm moving OVO Fest to Australia, since that seems to be the popular place to go to. I'm going to Australia. Everybody gonna watch me perform there.
No, he can't. He gotta hold.
I'm not bringing OVO Fest to. I'm not bringing it to Toronto. I'm not.
Nah, he can't lay down because then he's really lost.
Then you concede.
Yeah.
The city turned against me. I'm not.
So now you just turn into like fucking the Joker or something. You got to turn into like the Joker. No. Now you just this wild nigga that's out here and you don't give a fuck about nothing. But you too old for that. So it's like really, I feel like what Drake needs to do is just keep making music like Nokia.
Exactly.
And ride that wave off into the radio world that he loves. He don't have to come back over here for nothing.
No.
But you can't go back to Toronto either without that sour taste in your mouth. Like, I can't believe. And then not only after the show, during the show, they over there rocking out to every diss song about you, calling you every name in the book. And then they go to the restaurant that you got robbed at and play all the music in there.
Oh my God.
The music, stand in line, order the food, order Kendrick's dish or whatever, order the food, and
the nigga
sit there and rap the diss song to you the whole time.
He has a dish.
Oh no,
he has a dish at the restaurant.
I'm sorry. No, first of all, West Coast artists. If that would have happened, that restaurant would have been blown up tomorrow. It wouldn't have even been. It would have been firebombed.
The prime example of that happening is when Drake made the statement, like, whoever claimed a hood, when he was like, "Why even YG got a hood? Chris Breezy got a hood." When he was naming these people, YG got a hood. And shouting out game, and you don't understand the dynamics of how the shit works with the nigga. So you saying he don't got a hood because he don't actively gangbang on wax, but you don't know enough. You don't know enough, bro. Like, and so it's tough for you to even. When I seen that shit, I was like, oh, bro is disconnected. Right. Like, he don't even understand what's happening. Like, look at the people around this nigga. Like, look at the people around. I remember the shit that happened with the Straight Outta Compton. Shit where Dre was trying to come film in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
And G Weeder was with Kendrick, and G Weeder is a notorious nigga from just a Pyru in general. But him and Kendrick is close as shit. And the nigga said, we gonna use the little homies for this shoot. Y'all not bringing no extras in here. And that's what the fuck they did. Yep. Instances like that aren't just happening because this nigga's around. These are his people, bro. And so when you start talking shit about niggas you don't understand, now you just bringing shit up. Oh, you talking about even Chris Breezy claim a hood. Boy, shut up. Even YG. Stop, bro. Like, you don't even know what you talking about. But you running with this narrative because it's cute. Like, you think this is what people want to hear. Okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it turned on them. You got every nigga from the West at the pop out talking shit about dancing to your diss record. So now you don't even got no more West Coast friends. What you coming to California for now? To hang out with game? What are you coming out there for, bro? Think about that for a second.
If I'm Drake and Toronto did me like that, I'm going outside, and when I land, I'm going outside and I'm just punching random Toronto people.
Say, bro, come take a picture.
I can't believe y'all did me like this.
All right, Bryson, I got a question, bro. You know, before we go, we gotta talk about this.
Right.
I'm not letting it go.
You're right. Anyways, that was a great segment. Thank you.
Facts. Tell me something different about life now that you're a married man. Just give me something.
Man, it's the commitment.
Immediate.
Man, look, it's a whole new different type of commitment level that come with versus being in a relationship and then just being married. Like, y'all really do move as one when it comes to you. Man, look, the next day after the wedding, all of a sudden I pretty much should have had
Bryson.
I pretty much should have had a date book, I should have had an assistant that told me, broke down what my day was gonna be like. Just like, hey, look, we finna go here, we finna go here, we finna go do this, we finna go to this graduation, we finna go to this restaurant, go meet up with a couples date for this, we finna go over here, I need to go meet this person, we going to meet them together, all that. Yeah, no, the commitment part is what surprised me the most, is how much you have to go to shit.
Nah, facts. I think the other thing too is like the realization of like, I'm here. Like, right. And I don't know about every other nigga, but like, right. I'm like, back in my single days, like I was like the get up and leave type nigga. Oh man, fuck all this shit. I'm gone. And I'm out of here. I'm gonna go about, right. I got my own space to go to. Right. That's what we on. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like you get mad, you gotta figure this shit out.
I'm gonna go in the other room.
It's like, I'm not even going in the other room. We finna figure this shit out. Right. Because you realize a lot of the like minute shit that you used to trip off of, like I kinda gotta grow up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about space and like comfortability and like being put out of your comfort zone. All that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen naturally. So you just kind of have to get used to it. That was my biggest adjustment, is like having somebody in my space all the time and share, and not even like moving in because we live together, but like your mental space, your emotional space, like how you feel. And so when you feel a certain way, you exhibit those emotions to other people. And now like I gotta explain to you why I'm mad. I can't just shut down no more. You know what I'm saying? Or I can't just, internalize it and keep it to myself. Right. So it's like, it's a lot of shit, bro. You share everything. There's no more you.
It's still, even though y'all, even with people that are like in relationship, like long-term relationships, and they move in together and like they even been together 10 years or something like that, or been together since high school. Like as soon as you get married, that it's somehow just an aura that comes over that everything is different.
Nah,
like,
facts.
It's different now. Like
everything you do, I'm affected by. I'm affected by everything you do, and vice versa.
What's y'all's favorite thing about being married?
I appreciate that I don't have to share my person with anybody. So being like a single person.
Wait, was you gonna share it when you was in a relationship?
Bro, let me tell you something. Now, if I'm the kind of guy that feels when you single, you're single.
Oh, okay.
So I never, like, the only relationship I've ever been in is with the person that I married.
Right.
And so everything outside of that, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, we are just two individuals that share each other's company and time. I always knew in the back of my mind who I wanted to be with, so I never played that game with anybody else, right? So anybody else, I'm sharing you with whatever other nigga you go to when I'm not around. And trust me, we both were doing whatever we was doing, but it's just that exclusivity, like, it's there. Like, I know this is my person. I don't mind going to the end of the world for this person because I know they do the same for me. And so, like, I just didn't like the idea of, like, sharing a person with somebody else. Like, you get mad at a nigga and now you out with your other nigga at the movies and, he taking you and wine and dining you and I'm looking dumb. Now, but even if we get back together, that is in the back of my mind. Don't get me wrong, you can do that when you marry, but I just feel like, it's just something that comes with like having something or somebody that's yours that you can learn and grow with. And like, I don't have to guess what it takes to make you happy. Yeah. Like, I know my wife is going to be pissed off that it's 7:45 and I'm not at home yet. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to guess it, but I also know that what I can do to make it right because I've been through this time and time again. So it's like that familiarity, the exclusivity, and that like knowing that I have this person that's for me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say.
Security.
Right.
Yeah. No, I would say for me it was just like everything was fairly new. I'd say because really I don't think much has changed. Not much has made like drastically changed based on being in a relationship to being married or whatever. But now it's just like it's way more comfortable now. So it's like, I mean, we just literally live as one, I guess I would say. So we just like, all right, you want to go like do this, or you want to like let's go eat something, like let's go do this, or let's like you got a real partner for real. It's not like, oh, this just my girl or whatever. Like you like they supposed to be your better half, but I mean she just my partner. But like you literally got somebody you can go do shit with and go sit here and have these deep conversations with, or you can sit here and go eat with, go do regular shit. Like you really got somebody.
Like you sharing a life, bro. You share a life.
Yeah.
And so eventually you continue to like nurture this relationship over and over again, and you go through the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of it. And so you start to become one with a person. So it's like it's a symmetry type of deal. Like I don't have to ask questions no more. Yeah,
like, you pretty much should know.
I know. By now, like and I think like you get to know a person's family, and like you start becoming that person for the family as well. And like it's just a big you take on a lot being married, and like the difference is like shit. I want my wife to be able to like have like rights to take over shit when I'm gone.
Right.
And so like her being my girlfriend for the rest of my life, what if something happens to me? Like, and I'm just out here with nothing to show for it. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a big difference from like having to like just not knowing. The uncertainty of a relationship worries me as a person. Like, are we for real? Like, do we really fuck with each other? Like, do you really care about me? Or do I even really care about you? Or is this lust? You know what I'm saying? Like, them questions you don't have no more. And, then you go to the next level of the shit. So,
the family part, I didn't realize, like, it don't change, but it literally blends. Yeah. Like, right after that, it's like, oh, man, like y'all got different sides of the family, and y'all got different friends and all that, but when you get married now, it's like, yo, they really are, or like we really are related, or we really are like I'm really your uncle, or I'm really like this, like I'm really your uncle. Like ain't no like, oh, that's my aunt's boyfriend or something like that. It's like you are really somebody's uncle, and then you realize you are responsible for a lot more people at that too. Like she got a big old family too, so I was like,
yeah, that was like a big deal for me, bro. I think for me, I got a chance to see like the aspect of family that I didn't necessarily get to experience on my own. And so it was like, okay, I get to see how other people's families operate, and like you become, and then you start to build your own family. Like, I got kids and shit, bro. Like I'm not new to any of this shit. Like my kids have been around since before we were married, kids from a different relationship. We eventually had our own. And so you kind of, you building your own as you go forward. And like to the point where you just like shit, you start having your family events at your house. So now Christmas at your house,
everybody there,
Thanksgiving at your house. You see what I'm saying? And when you sitting there and it's happening, you don't think about it in the process, but you sit back and think like, damn, I'm becoming my parents. Like it's happening, and now I don't really even notice it, but like you building this foundation for a life for even like your kids and shit to see. And like, so that's like the other biggest part for me is like providing a life for my kids and my family that I didn't get to experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to be like the Huxtables. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do that in Compton, but I wanted to be like that. I
blended family.
You know what I'm saying? Send a kid to school, to college, and feel good about it, and that kind of shit. Or be around your daughters when they get to be women and see and help them experience life. Oh man, that's all that kind of shit, bro.
So man, that's different too. When you you get married and y'all have, and the family and y'all families blend together, and they got more female relatives, and oh man, that'd be stressful by itself, because you be sitting here like, I don't know if I just didn't like, if I was just oblivious to the fact like, oh well, that's on them. But then when you get married and you realize that they your family, you be like, thinking about all the stuff you ever pulled on somebody else's family and all that. So you read the sign. Wait a minute, hey, sit down. Let me tell you something. Look, the person you're dealing with right now, you need to let them go.
Yeah.
Let them go. Like, nah, this ain't for you. Look, I'm telling you. Look, I'm taking it from me. I know I done did that to them, to families like that all the time. And you be happy like having like that extended family. And you be wanting to do stuff for them and like wanting to be a part of what they got going on and stuff. Like happily.
I just, I realized the value of those things, and also like building this life with a person that you can call your own and like really mold it to what you want it to be. Because I know we have these perceptions that we get from our family, and like, man, I got to do this because my parents may have done this, or like my father or my mother was this way, so I gotta. I always felt like I want to do this shit on my own. Like I want to build this. Like I don't want it to be based on my mother's religion. Like if I have an idea or an inkling of something that I want to do, I don't want to apply those same morals to my son that my mother did for me, because I know the effects of it. So now I'm parenting different based on, it's just it's a lovely experience. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of responsibility. And being present. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, be present in whatever it is that you commit to, because you never know what the other person is invested in. So if I'm not here and I don't see the things that are going on, and being able to mitigate and be a father. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, be a father, be a husband, and be present. Yeah. Like, those things are important.
I love the good marriage, PR that y'all are.
The gatherings get bigger too.
Now come back on another episode and we'll tell you about all the shit that I fucking despise about this shit. Okay, I'll tell you about there's a whole nother list, but we ain't got enough time for that right now. But if you want to hear it,
with the bad,
boy, I tell you, like, not owning no more clothing on your own. Let me tell you, can't keep a fucking hoodie.
Nope. You wondering why they got, and then they'll look at you. What's mine is yours.
Can't pick a meal. Fuck are we eating, bro?
Man, why
it's so hard?
Why y'all don't never know? Why y'all don't never know?
That's why I say we not gonna. That's another.
Can we stick with the good marriage?
Right, then we ain't gonna do that. We gonna close it on a good note.
Know what y'all want.
We were encouraging more people to get married and stuff.
Say old black love.
Look, for that part. Look, I can say one thing. Look, please, anybody, like, I understand if you've been in a relationship for 20 years, 10 years, 5 minutes. Look, before you do this marriage shit, please make sure that this is your partner. Make sure please make sure this is the person you want to give up everything for. Like, you don't want to mess around on. You don't want to, like, make sure this person is a person that you will literally
you better be sure.
spend the rest of your life with. Like, and then make sure at that, man, just test it out one day. Just have them sit next to you on the couch for an hour.
Oh man, you better do that shit every day for about a summer.
For a summer,
and see if you still
want it. If you can't,
don't bust a move. Just sit there.
Yeah, if you can't do that, this probably shouldn't work for you.
Is a couch test out there?
I don't know. We probably made if there is, we want credit.
Listen,
for
bro,
it.
me and my wife been together so damn long. So mind you, like I said, I got here in 2004. I met her in 2005. I've been with her since 2005. We've only been married for 3 years. So that means we've been together damn near 20 years. Like, that's how fucking sure you better be. I'm not saying wait that long. No. Luckily, I had youth on my side. So we just kind of grew up together. When we finally decided to be like, okay, like, let's be serious, then it was that. But like, nah, like, I had to be that sure. So I can't really speak to it. That's another conversation, because I did just really have a conversation with my wife about, like, what makes niggas take so long to want to get married. And that's something we're going to have to do some more research.
You tell me.
Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna do some more research.
Looked at you and was like, because
I ain't got the answers. I swear I don't have them.
But definitely be with somebody that you can, like, literally proven that you cannot live without. Because trust me, this shit is hard work. Because even after you say I do, it's still a lot of shit you gotta do after that. So.
Well, listen, man, appreciate everybody for tapping in. Appreciate our guest,
man,
pulling up on us, listening to us ramble.
Minute too.
Right, on the last minute.
Hey, what you doing?
I can't get niggas to show up scheduled to come. Fuck out of here. Man. But I appreciate you coming out. Anytime you want to come talk shit, and let the people know where they can find you and all that shit too.
Y'all can find me. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything is 817lauren. On TikTok, everything at 817lauren.
Awesome.
All right, look, can I make one request?
Okay.
Look, because obviously I follow you on socials and obviously talk to you on regular. But look, can we get more of your dating stories?
Oh goodness.
Because you be going on there. I don't know
it.
how she get up at the crack of dawn. She be in the car. It be literally dim lit, like the sun is coming up.
Gotta get that shit out.
And she'll sit there. Okay, look, check this out. Let me tell y'all what happened to me.
I definitely gotta tap in.
Let me tell y'all what happened to me.
That'd be the most interesting shit on the internet. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Why men out here ain't
Why
shit?
did I date 3
Why do
men
they
last
go
year
date?
when I didn't even know they were married? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. You know?
Listen.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta come back and have these. Yeah, we're gonna have these conversations.
Welcome to Dallas.
Listen, for real. Well, listen, man. Appreciate everybody watching the good old Not Like Us podcast. Already Not Like Us, as my brother called it. It's your boy Kaution, Mr. 700. My brother Bryson Boomclaw. We are out.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow Lauren.
Facts.